Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a comprehensive, step-by-step guide to bringing a magnificent rescue Norwegian Forest Cat into your home. If you've ever dreamed of sharing your space with one of these literal gentle giants via the rescue route, let's look at exactly what that adoption journey looks like. So let's tackle the elephant in the room right away. Can you actually rescue a purebred Norwegian Forest Cat? Honestly, the answer is an absolute yes. It's actually way more common than you'd think. Now, you might be wondering, why would such an expensive, purebred cat end up in a shelter in the first place? Well, it's almost never the cat's fault. These guys usually end up in the rescue system because of unpredictable life events. A sudden move, severe allergies popping up in the family, or sudden financial hardship. But because of this, you've got to know right up front. Patience is absolutely key. The supply is pretty limited, and the cats you'll find, they're mostly going to be adults, not tiny kittens. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll compare adoption versus a breeder purchase, talk about finding your rescue cat, go over the rescue application process, prepare your home, and finally, look at the adjustment period.
All right, Section 1, Adoption versus Breeder Purchase, Choosing Your Path.
So this is really the first major decision you're going to face. And look, neither path is universally better, but you absolutely need to understand the trade-offs here to make the right choice for your household. On the breeder side, you get a predictable temperament, documented genetic testing, and yeah, you get to experience all those cute developmental kitten stages. But on the rescue side, you're getting something totally different. You're mostly looking at an adult cat with a fully established personality. A lot of folks see that as a fallback, but honestly, it can be a massive advantage. I mean, if you want to know exactly what kind of cat you're getting, like are they a total lap cat, a quiet observer, or a crazy active climber, an adult rescue cat already has that personality locked in and visible. You aren't just crossing your fingers and hoping a kitten turns out that way. The main trade-off, of course, is that their genetic history is usually a total mystery.
Now, check out the stark contrast in realistic fees here. Going through a breeder typically runs anywhere from $800 to $1,800. But adopting a rescue? That usually ranges from just $100 to $400 in the US. That is a huge financial savings. And look at what that adoption fee actually covers. It usually includes the spay or neuter surgery, up-to-date vaccinations, and a basic vet screening. So you're getting genuine value there, way beyond just the cost of bringing the cat home. Plus, some rescues even offer financial assistance programs or reduced fee promotions, which is fantastic. Moving right along to Section 2, Finding Your Rescue Cat, Where to Search. Because these majestic cats are relatively rare compared to your everyday domestic shorthair, finding a rescue candidate takes some proactive, strategic effort. Pet Finder and similar searchable databases, those are going to be your absolute best friends. The real trick is to aggressively use their breed and location filters to set up automatic alerts. That way, you get pinged the absolute second a Norwegian Forest Cat or a mix enters the system. And hey, don't sleep on breed club mailing lists or social media groups either. Lots of times people needing to rehome their cats will post there way before the cat ever steps paw in a formal shelter. By keeping an eye on these specific channels, you're going to spot opportunities so much faster than just waiting for a shelter database to update.
Next up, Section 3, the rescue application process. The steps to adopt. All right, so you finally locate the perfect cat. Amazing. But now get ready for the paperwork. Rescue groups have a very structured workflow. This is almost never just a quick same-day transaction. First, you're going to submit a detailed written application. Next up, be prepared for a home visit, which honestly is very often done virtually these days. And third, you'll do a meet and greet with the specific cat. The absolute golden rule here: total honesty. Be completely upfront about your daily schedule, your kids, and any other pets you have. The rescue staff know these animals inside and out. So if they tell you a different cat might actually be a better fit for your loud, bustling household than the timid one you applied for, trust them. They just want to guarantee a successful, permanent match so the cat never has to go back into the rescue system. Which brings us to Section 4, Preparing Your Home. Getting ready for an adult. So preparing for an adult Norwegian Forest Cat is a totally different ballgame than bringing home a tiny kitten. You are dealing with established habits and a very robust, heavy physique. You absolutely need a heavy-duty, sturdy cat tree right from day one. These guys have persistent climbing instincts and serious weight. A flimsy standard tree is going to turn into kindling the minute a 15-pound Forest Cat jumps on it. You're also going to need an oversized litter box. Standard kitten-size boxes, way too cramped for their large adult frames. Finally, you have to set up a dedicated quiet space with food, water, and a cozy bed.
This gives them a safe zone to claim right away, without being totally overwhelmed by the chaos of a new household.
But home prep isn't just about the furniture. Medical baselines matter immensely. Remember earlier when we talked about the unknown genetic history of rescue cats? Well, reputable breeders test for things like HCM, which is a heart condition this specific breed is predisposed to. A rescue cat almost never comes with that kind of paperwork. So please, do not just assume that a healthy-looking adult doesn't need monitoring. You've got to work with your vet shortly after adoption to establish a solid baseline health assessment. Being proactive here is literally vital for your new cat's long-term health.
And finally, Section 5, the adjustment period, where patience really pays off.
Okay, so you've brought this beautiful giant rescue cat home. Now what? Pacing is literally everything here. On day 1, strictly confine them to that quiet, dedicated space we just talked about. Over the next several days or weeks, if you have other pets, you have to do gradual introductions. Always start with scent exchanges, like swapping blankets, long before they ever actually see each other. Rushing this almost always backfires. But the real critical window is weeks 4 to 8. This is the totally normal and expected timeline for full adjustment. If your new cat is reserved, cautious, or even hiding under the bed during those first few weeks, don't panic. It is perfectly normal. It's not a sign of a bad match. It just takes a minute for their true personality to really shine through.
I actually want to read this quote directly because it just hits the nail on the head. Many adopters report forming an exceptionally strong bond, sometimes describing the connection as even more rewarding, given the cat's history of needing a second chance at a stable, loving home. This breed is already famous for forming incredibly deep, highly selective bonds with their humans. When you mix that fierce, natural loyalty with an adult cat who finally realizes they are safe, the emotional payoff is absolutely incredible. We've covered the costs, the strategic search, and the careful home prep. But the real takeaway here is that 4 to 8 week adjustment period and the unbelievable bond that follows. It leaves us with a pretty profound question to think about. If an adult rescue cat is just waiting for the right environment to reveal their true, fiercely loyal personality, what kind of connection might you be missing out on by only looking for a kitten?